Onua akwaba. Mejidi se ohoye. Obade na dom mensume hoye pa. You're welcome back to another episode of the LEARNAKAN Media Dialogue Review Series. And today's clip is taken from a movie titled ADỌFOASA. ADỌFOASA. Now, this is the name of the main character of the movie, but let's break it down. We have adofo, which is the plural of ɔdɔfoɔ, and ɔdɔfoɔ means a loved one, a beloved, all right? And then we have the verb sa at the end, which means to finish. Okay, so when something finishes, we say asa. So as you can see, there's asa at the end. So together we have ADỌFOASA, which literally would mean loved ones are finished, as in there aren't loved ones anymore. You agree with me that this is a pretty interesting name to give to one's daughter, but I'm sure if you watch the whole movie, you'll probably understand why she was given that name. And talking about watching the movie, I'll leave a link to it in the description box further below. Please go and watch it. And this movie is already subtitled, so I'm sure you're going to learn a lot of chi from it. Now, to give you a bit of a context, the movie is about a girl called ADỌFOASA, so the main character of the movie, who lives in the village with her father. Now, ADỌFOASA has completed school but struggles to further her education to the tertiary level because of the financial situation of her father. But ADỌFOASA is a very respectful girl, and anyone who comes across her likes her almost instantaneously. Now, there's also this police commander who lives in a city with his daughter. This police commander has it all. So he's rich, but his daughter, unlike ADỌFOASA back in the village, does whatever she pleases. So, her father has money, so she does whatever she wants. She will not clean, she will not do anything in the home. Fast forward, ADỌFOASA is brought from the village to serve as a maid to the police commander and his daughter. But this particular scene that we are using today is not in the city. So ADỌFOASA is still back in the village, and she was heading back home after having gone to sell some foodstuff. And she comes across this man, and this is what ensues between them.
Papa. Medasi. Me to make a so chroma for me nyina wo na ho fe.
Medasi.
Na your friend saying
Pacho your friend me ADỌFOASA.
ADỌFOASA. O kasa kura che so bebu ade. Na o tin fa.
Pacho I just say na ne ba ne me ye wo adomako.
Me just say ana ne ba no. O kwa kete nsa mekyea no. Na wo ni me. Oh, ekuafo hene. Me na aban be ma ba so bicycle ye de ma me ni. Ekuafo nyina hene ne me kofoli. O kwa mekyea papa o so me ba fie wai.
So it appears the man is seeing ADỌFOASA for the first time, and he says, Abaya mepawchel woma. And if you pay attention, you can hear he said abaya. The word is abayewa. Okay, abayewa, and that is how it is written, but we tend to say it as abaya. Now, abaya or abayewa is a girl. At the very top, we have nipa or unipa, which is a person, a human being. Now, a human being can be oba, a woman, or bema or obema, a man. Now, oba, a woman, can be abrewa, okay, abrewa, an old woman, and bema or obema can be akokra. Okay, so the opposite of oba is bema. The opposite of abrewa is akokra. If we come down on the female spectrum, we can have ababawa, a young woman, okay, ababawa. And under the male spectrum, we can have abrantie, a young man, okay, abrantie, a young man. And then if we go further down, we can have abaya, okay, or abayewa, a girl, and then under the male spectrum, we can have abema, a boy, okay, abema. And then further down, we can have akwada, a child, okay, akwada. And then we can have abofra, a baby, all right, abofra. And then he said, me pawachel woma. We know me pawachel as please, okay, please, me pawachel. The short form being me pawachel. The verb in woma is ba, okay, ba, which is to come. Now, we've learned that for three verbs that start with the letters b, p, and f, right? So if you come across a tree verb that starts with any of these letters, then you form its negative by prefixing or by attaching to the front of that particular verb, the letter and then you have the negative. So we have ba here, which starts with the letter b. So to form its negative, you simply place before the verb, and then we have ba, right? Ba, to not come. But it doesn't end there. If the first letter of the particular verb is a b, then after attaching the to the front of it, we tend to do what we call assimilation. The will cause the b to also change into And this is just to allow for easier pronunciation. If you don't assimilate, you are not wrong and we are going to get you. But this is what you mostly hear. For easier pronunciation, the will cause the b to change into as well. And that is also how we write that in standard tree. Okay? So instead of ba, we'll end up with ma, to not come. So when you ask woma, literally you are asking, you won't come, okay? You won't come. But this is basically the polite way of asking someone to come over without seeming like you are instructing the person. So we have, me pawachel woma, please, will you come over? Do you mind coming over?
Papa.
Medasi.
Papa, if you tell someone you are saying the person is good looking. You are good looking. Now, if you add papa to it, you intensify it. You are very beautiful. To that, ADỌFOASA responds with medase, thanks. The long form being medawase. Okay? Medawase, I thank you. But the man goes on. He says,
Metumi ka se kroma for man nyina wo na ho ofe.
Medasi.
Metumi aka se krom hafo man nyina wo na wo ho ofe. Let's start with krom hafo ma. We have kro, and kro means a town, all right, a town. The ha in hafo is here. We have learned that ha or a ha means here, and then we have ho or a ho as there. But if you follow krom with ha, you get krom ha, and that means this town because it's here, right? So krom ha, this town. The four at the end of ha is the plural person suffix. And what that does is if you attach this to, for example, the name of a country, you get the people of that country. So the citizens of that country. So for example, we have Ghana, right? If I attach 4 to the end of Ghana, we have Ghana 4, and that is the people of Ghana, right? So Ghanaians. We have America. If I attach 4 to the end, we get America 4, the people of America. The singular of this 4 is ni, right? Ni. So I can say Ghana ni, a Ghanaian. So a single person. America ni, an American. Single person. Now, this 4 is being attached to krom ha. So we have krom ha, this town, and then when you add 4 to it, you get krom ha 4, the people of this town. And we are using that to describe ma. And ma is the plural of oba. And we just learned that oba is a woman. Okay? So the plural is ma, women. Okay? So when you say krom ha 4 ma, you are saying the women of this town. But there's also nyina at the end, and that is all. So all the women in this town. Metumi aka se I can say that Krom Hafo Menyina, amongst all the women in this town, it is you who is beautiful. So you are the prettiest amongst all the women in this town. And again, to this, ADỌFOASA responds with Medase, thanks. Now the man asks,
hey, na your friend saying,
Pacho, your friend me ADỌFOASA.
now your friend was saying, in this lesson, we learned the different ways of asking for someone's name. And this is one of those. Your friend was saying, what do we call you? Okay, what is your name? And ADỌFOASA responds to that with, me pacho, your friend me ADỌFOASA. Me pacho, your friend me ADỌFOASA. So this is a typical response to that question. If you meet someone and you want to ask for the person's name, you can ask, me pacho, your friend was saying, please, what do we call you? What is your name? And then the person will respond with, your friend me Kofi, or your friend me Kwame, or your friend me Adjoa.
ADỌFOASA. Okasa kra chese obebu ade.
Okasa kra chese obebu ade. So let's start with kasa. And pay attention to the tone on this. I say kasa. Kasa, the tone on the ka goes up, right? And then it drops slightly on the sa, right? So we have kasa. Kasa. And that is important because this is the noun speech. Okay, speech. This is the noun. But the verb comes down. So for the verb, we have kasa. Kasa. Kasa, to speak. Okay, so we have kasa, to speak. And then we have kasa, speech. So we have okasa kra chrese ubebuadie. Even your speech, even the way you speak, suggests that you will be respectful. Okay, so we have okasa, your speech, the way you speak. And then we have kra, which is even. Okay, kra means even. So even your speech, okasa kra. And then we have the phrasal verb buadie at the end. Buadie means to respect. Now, just like most other, phrasal verbs, this adie is a dummy thing, right? So the main verb is actually bu, right? To respect, bu. But if we are not telling what it is that, we respect, so if you are not making that part explicit, then you put adie in its place, because bu, you can't end on bu. Okay, so the verb is buadie, but we only use that if we are not going to tell whom the person respects or what the person respects. So for example, I can say mibu, right? Mibu, I respect you. And in that case, I will not bring the adie because I have made it clear the person that I respect, and that is you, mibu, right? So instead of the adie, we replace it with, the person or the thing that we respect. So I can say, mibu obia, I respect everyone. And in that case, I don't bring the adie. But here, it's more general. He's saying, okasa kra chrese ubebu adie. Even the way you speak suggests that you will be respectful. As to whom, it's general. So if I am describing myself and I want to say I am respectful, I will say mi buadie. Mi buadie.
Hey, na utefa.
Now what's a hefa? Again, in this lesson, we learned how to ask for where someone lives. And we said you can ask that with what's a he? What's a he? So the main verb here is te, which means to live or to stay at. Okay, so what's it? You live at or you stay at. And then we have the he, which is from a he. The full word is a he, and that is where, the question word where. Okay, but we also have hefa or a hefa, which is basically the same, but the fa at the end of this he is half or part, right? It means half or part or side. So if you attach fa to a he or he, you have a hefa or hefa, and that means which side, which part of, the place. So when he asks, what's a hefa? Literally, this means you live at which side, okay, which part of this town do you live? Because obviously he can tell that she lives in that very town, but he wants to find out which part of the town that she lives. To this, ADỌFOASA responds with,
Pacho just saying na ne ba ne me yewo adomako.
Me pacho, just say na ne ba ne me. We have gone over this na, but let's recap that. Let's focus on this na. This na, I said, is what gives us the structure. It is, or it was, dash, who, which, that. You can understand this better if we put it in an example. So I can say, for example, mena mi di eduane no. Mena mi di eduane no. So you can see the it is and then the who, right? So mena mi di eduane no. It is I who ate the food. Ghana na kweku koye. Ghana na kweku koye. So it is Ghana that kweku went to. Ghana na kweku koye. So back to this one. She says, me pa chao e just say na ne baneme. Please, it is a just say whose daughter I am. So we have neba literally as his child. Okay, neba, his child. But per the context, she's female. So his daughter. And then she adds yewo adomako. Yewo adomako. So we have ye as we. Then we have the wo, which is the to be verb for location and existence. So we use this to be verb to describe our location, right? Or the existence of something. So if I say mi wo fie right now, I'm saying I'm home, right? Mi wo fie, I'm home. Wo wo fie, you are in your house, in your home, okay? So she says yewo adomako. Adomako is the name of the suburb. So the town where she and the dad live. So when she said, yewo adomako, she's just saying we are in Adomako. That's where we are, because the man asked where she lives.
Me just say, ana ne ba no.
Mia me just say, ena ne ba no. So you mean to tell me it's my very own Ejase whose daughter you are? Okay? So this ena in the middle is the same na that we just talked about, except for the fact that there was a pause before it was said. And when there's a pause before this is said, we tend to bring in front. So we have mia me just say, ena ne ba no. So if there weren't a pause, this would have been mia me just say na ne ba no. Mia me just say na ne ba no. Is it my very own Ejase whose daughter you are? So this is to suggest that the man knows this Ejase that the girl says is her father, and is probably close to him, and that is why he possesses the Ejase. So he says, Mejase, my Ejase. Okay, Mejase. And he even, precedes that with Mia. So you have Mia Mejase, my very own Ejase. So after establishing this, he says,
Ukwa kete nse mekyea no.
Ukwa kachire no se mekyea no. So we have the verb ko, which means to go. And the that comes after this is your if when clause particle. We use this to construct either an if clause or a when clause. Here it is being used for the when clause. So ukwa, when you go. Okay, ukwa, when you go. It could also be if you go. The full particle is se. So when you enclose something within se, you have if or when that particular thing happens or occurs. So here he said, ukwa kachire no se mekyea no. When you go, tell him that I greet him. So the verb here is chia, which is to greet. We covered that in this particular lesson. But since he's not sure whether the girl knows him, he asks,
Na unime.
Na unime, but do you know me? Okay, so the verb here is nim, which is to know. Again, this is where we get nimdia from, knowledge. All right, na unime, but do you know me? But the girl shakes, the head. In Ghana, when you shake your head, it means no, right? And if you nod, it means yes. I understand it's different in India. And then the man responds with,
Oh, ekuafo hene. Me na aban bom abaso bicycle yedema mini.
oh, ekuafo hene. By this O, he probably thought everybody in the town knows him because he's popular. Okay. So he says, oh, ekuafo hene. We have ekuafo, which is the plural of okieni. And okieni is a farmer. So ekuafo is farmers. You remember the four suffix, you see? So we have okieni, the ni is singular, a farmer, single farmer. And then we have the ekuafo, the four plural. So we have ekuafo as farmers. So we have ekuafo hene. Hene is from ohene, and ohene is a king, right? A king or a chief. So ekuafo hene is the king of farmers. So he's like the big guy when it comes to the farmers. And that is probably why he's surprised that she doesn't know him. He said, Mena abai bo mabaso. Mena abai bo mabaso. We have abai, and abai is the government. So we have abai bo mabaso. There's a phrasal verb here, and that is bo, abaso. Bo abaso means to award. So the verb to award is bo abaso. An award, so the noun is abasobodie. Okay, so what you give to someone to award the person is abasobodie. So he says, Mena abai bo mabaso. It is I that the government awarded. Okay? Now, in Ghana, every year we have, the Farmers' Day. And on Farmers' Day, the government holds an awards ceremony where the government awards farmers from across the country. So any farmer who wins that becomes the ekuafo hene. Okay, we have the national one, and then we have the district level ones. So he probably won for his town, his district. So he's like the ekuafo hene of that particular district. So he's saying that Mena abai bo mabaso. It is I that's the government awarded for being the ekuafo hene.
Bicycle yedema mini.
Bicycle yedema mini. This is the bicycle that I was given. Now we have bicycle. The tree for bicycle is dadeponko. Dadeponko. Dade is from dadie, and dadie is a metal. And then we have ponko, and ponko is a horse. So literally, when you say dadeponko, you are saying a metal horse. You get it? Right. So we have dadeponko for a bicycle. Or you can go with the borrowed form, sacre. Sacre.
Ekuafo nyina hene me kofoli.
Ekuafo nyina hene me. So we have ekuafo, which we learned as farmers, the plural of okieni. Okay? And then we learned that nyina is all. So ekuafo nyina, all farmers. Hene me. I am the king of all farmers. And then he adds his name to that. Kofuri. So before he gives his name, he goes on, giving all the accomplishments.
Okwa mekyea papa, so me be fie why?
Okwa mekyea papa. When you go, as in when you get home, mekyea papa, I greet your father. So we have wo papa, your father, right? Because we have papa as father. And then he says, Wose mebe fie. Why? Wose mebe fie. Why? So meba, I will come. I told you that ba is the verb to come, right? So if you say meba, you are saying I will come. And then he adds fie, the house, okay, the home. So meba fie, I'll come home, as in I'll come to the house. And he adds why. And I told you from a previous episode that this why is actually wate, which is you've heard, okay, you've heard. But, we reduce it to why. That is more common. So when you say something or you ask a question and then you end with why, you are simply checking in to see if the person gets, what you said. So in English, this is what you use okay, right? You use okay for. But in Chi, it's why. And literally, this means you've heard. Now, ADỌFOASA responds to that with mekyea yo. So again, we have mekyea as please, and then we have you as okay. Now, when ADỌFOASA turns to leave, the man says, she's really beautiful. Okay, so the O at the end is used to intensify what he's saying. She's really beautiful. She's really good looking.
Abaya. Pachoma. Papa.
Medase.
Me to make a say kroma for me nyina wo na ho ofe.
Medase.
Na your friend saying
Pacho ye from ADỌFOASA.
ADỌFOASA. O kasa kura chese obebu ade. Na o tin fa.
Pacho ye just saying na ne ba ne meyɛ wɔ adomako.
Me just say ana ne ba no. O kwa kete nsa mekyea no. Na wo ni me. Oh, ekuafo hene. Me na aban bem aba so bicycle ye de ma me ni. Ekuafo nyina hene ne me kofoli. O kwa mekyea papa o se me ba fie wai. Wofo.